Good morning, everyone. It's Matt with Downrange Firearms. Cool new service I'm going to talk about today and then demonstrate for you. I recently picked up this very neat 20-watt Gweike G2, pronunciation's dealer's choice, 20-watt fiber laser engraver. It's good for aluminum in particular. Any kind of metal surfaces, really. It'll do a bunch of other things as well with a little bit of tweaking and specialty. But the things we've been messing with so far have been receivers and PMags. So what I'm going to do is demonstrate how to engrave our information, because as some of you know, we are an NFA dealer, and we're also an SOT. So, well, one and the same basically. So we can actually do and manufacture short barrel rifles, suppressors, and full auto machine guns. So what we're going to demonstrate here is to make sure that we're in compliance when we manufacture anything new by manufacturing our business name, state, and city, and we're going to laser engrave that to a little bit deeper and beyond than the ATF required standard. So you're going to watch us do that, set this up, and ready to roll. So going right out of the gate, we'll get started on some settings, then we'll set the sucker up and you'll get to watch the sucker cut and burn for a few minutes. So, all right, let's talk about going through the software. I think a nice little screen share is kind of the way to go on this one, so that's what we're going to do. So right out of the gate, coming out of my desktop, we are going to open up this wonderful file. If you are running the Gweike setup, currently you have to use their in-house proprietary software, which is G-Laser. Supposedly it's going to be compatible with Lightburn at some point, but right now, not there yet. So to open this up, we click on the G-Laser for Windows folder. I'm a Windows user, for those of you wondering, or shocked. Click on both of those, and then down here, it's kind of the strangest install. You pretty much drag that entire folder right off of here. If you buy the Gweike, it comes with a little USB bob, and all of this is on there. I just downloaded a fresh copy onto this machine here real quick just to get the ball rolling. You click on the G-Laser app. It's going to fight me. All the Windows security hates it, but that's all right. I'm going to show you all my settings and everything that goes with it, and then I will here in a little bit, just a short while later, demonstrate how all that stuff works. That's just showing that the laser's not currently hooked up. I'm doing this because this is where my recording is on my desktop machine, where I do most of my recording, and then the laser's actually on one of the laptops that's actually in my workshop. So, in the interim, show you through the process, literally from a brand new program, how to kind of get this thing all set up and squared away. This is our main workspace right here. In the case of putting my business information on the side of a receiver, we're just going to do some burning of basic text. So, right out of the gate, we hit the text draw right here on the left side of the screen, and just give it a click right on the deck right there. The relevant information for this piece of text is all on the left side of the screen right here. Right out of the gate, we're going to put our business information on there. I double-clicked on it, and then we'll put in my business info. Hit OK. The height of lettering, we're going to do 3 millimeters, which is actually higher than what is required for the basic NFA standard. So we're going to do that as well. Hit apply, and then you'll see pop up and makes the correction. Until you hit apply, none of that will save, and it'll actually disappear. So we keep that on hand. While this is selected, I'm going to go up here and get this guy right here. And it basically puts the center of the object dead center on the graph paper. That'll probably be more useful when I start messing with challenge coins and things of that nature. But right now for this, we just want it centered. It simplifies things when we put it on the actual deck. All right, so from here, zoom on in, and you can see right now it's just empty curves. The letters are just hollowed out. In order to straighten these out, or actually get these to cut, we actually have to apply a hatch. In this case, it's this little H button right here. We'll click on that. And none of the other, we don't need any other stuff modified unless we want to. Right now it's set up as Arial. The one I've been using for all of my, for my receivers so far is the Cooper Black. I like this because it's a little bigger, a little more obvious. It cuts nicer, and I think it's less likely to get damaged in the post engraving. So from here, we'll click that hatch button.
From there, what we're going to do is we're just going to use the first pen. We're going to make sure the rest of them are off. So this is not enabled. This is not enabled. Perfect. All right. We're going to use the standard settings. So we hit enabled on fill 1. We're going to use the snake style fill method because there's a couple different ones. There's unidirectional, just one direction cutting. This is without the connections. We're not going to mess with any of that. And we're going to take the snake method. We're going to use pen 0 because that's where we're going to put our settings. We're going to do for line spacing 0.02. Numbers is the number of passes that this is going to do. So right now we are starting with 10. We're going to see how well that cuts. So far that seems to be doing great on the 7075 receivers. So that's what we're going to run with. Everything else we're going to leave as standard. As you can see, it applies that hatch to it. When you scroll in close, you can actually see the path of the laser itself. It actually puts that on the diagram so you can see it nice and close. From there, we're going to modify pen 0. Pen 0 right here is set up as such. So we're going to change some of the settings in this one specifically for this laser. This is kind of a lower power fiber laser for what we're doing, but it does work. We figured out the settings that we need to, and we're going to show you what those are right now. So in the case of this Gweike 20 watt G2 laser, we're going to set the speed for 100. That's millimeters per second. The power we're going to set at 100%, and we're going to leave the frequency at 30 kilohertz, just as is. Everything else we're going to leave alone, and we're ready to go. Once we are ready to actually do this and put it on metal, we'll hit that F1 or click on this red button right here. Obviously, it won't load because the laser's not connected, and that'll actually put a little box that shows the perimeter of this. So it basically shows dot to dot that square, and then it pushes it on the actual piece of material that we're going to be marking. Once we're happy with that, we hit the close the mark button, and then we hit mark, and then it'll automatically do it. I will deselect all of this. I just wanted to run one repetition of this, so it's going to do 10 passes on this hatch. And let me see if I checked something. Oh, angle. I never typically do that. I'll leave that at something different. In this case, we're going to put it at 90 degrees. Sorry, I forgot about that because that dictates how it's actually cutting it. If you're going to do multiple hatches, it makes more sense. For our case, I've just been using 90 by default. Once we do that, we'll hit the mark button. And again, it's complaining because the laser's not attached to this particular computer. That mark button, and it'll start cutting it. So far, it seems to be cutting very, very quickly, very, very reliably. The finished product has been absolutely fantastic. So we're going to get that running, show you how that works, show you how the burn works for a little bit there, and show you the final product.
All right, so these nifty SPD strip lowers that we're going to be converting into our SBR projects and machine gun projects, I 3D printed a neat little jig just for these to kind of hold them level on the deck so that when they print, they fit perfectly just like that. And as you can see, it fits in there. They're locked in. I had to cut a groove in there to make room for the little lugs that are in place for the safety. So it just slides in just like that. And then from there, we just line it up where we want it to go on the actual laser. From here, we hit the red button to give an alignment of where the words are going to go. And then from there, we just need to place it how we want. From here, we just got to check the final alignment. That looks pretty solid. It's not the best lighting in the world here, but you're going to get to see this in action now, and away we go. I turn off the indicator that shows where it's at, and then we start burning.
All right, so the finished product we have right here. I don't know how well we're going to be able to see that, but you can see that's nice and etched in there. It is extremely deep. It's very, very deep. I don't know the exact, but I'd probably say it's probably 0.5 millimeter, if not a little bit deeper than that, which is actually significantly deeper than what's required from the ATF and the NFA rules. I'm really liking how this turned out. The lettering is nice, big, beefy, very, very deep, very, very crisp. No issues, no weird edges or anything, which I know can sometimes be a concern with stuff like this. Turned out really, really good. Ran into some trouble yesterday trying to get it set up, or the last 2 days trying to figure out the specifics of how to set it up. So the last tidbit for anybody who's out there trying to cut their own logos, serial numbers, whatever into the receivers, I found out that the fine adjustment on the top of my tower, which actually focuses the laser at 211 millimeters, was off just slightly. It was literally maybe 1/8 of a turn, so I was having trouble yesterday getting the proper depth. Messing with it this morning, I just kind of adjusted it on the fly, and then you could actually hear the laser burning louder when it was actually set up properly, because I couldn't get it to cut initially when I came this morning, and I thought, let's play with this. But yeah, you need to fine-tune the exact distance and focus on that laser when you're cutting. Once I figure that out, cuts like a dream. Results are absolutely fantastic on this. I can't really complain. I'm looking forward to doing a whole bunch of these things. I need to do another 62 of them to justify the cost of the laser now. So the rest of the day is going to get spent messing around with, well, the store's open, but the rest of the day we're going to start messing around with figuring out how to laser print images onto AR-15 PMags. That's kind of the next thing that's kind of rolling, and then what we'll do is, if anybody wants them, we'll either start taking the entire laser system, because it is portable, to the gun shows when we go and laser etching whatever people want to on their magazines. And on top of that, when people have, as long as they bring in their own magazines, have them bring them on into the store, since that is still legal to do, and we'll laser etch anything that they want to on them. Today I'm going to figure out pictures and images in addition to the lettering, and we'll kind of go from there. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you soon.